Hi everyone, welcome back to Things Lucy Reads. I'm Luce, and this is a wrap-up video. Excuse the sudden change of backdrop, that will be explained in a few videos further down the track. This is a Star Wars wrap-up. I had to refilm it because one single point of my previous footage was corrupted, which meant I couldn't open the video in any of my editing software to take the corrupted bit out because they just all shut themselves and then crashed. So I'm just going to film it again. Okay, so this wrap-up is books 23, 24, and 26 to 28. Okay, so the first book I'm going to talk about is Aftermath by Wendig, which is the first in a trilogy. The second one comes out next month, I believe. Okay, so the plot of this is extremely involved, and I can't give you a really detailed synopsis because it will, kind of spoil it. It takes place on a planet called Akiva, which is in the Outer Rim, which is under the rule of the Empire. And there is a meeting happening on Akiva of Empire officials, and they are planning a strike against the rebellion, which is now called the New Republic. It follows also 4 characters. One is Nora Wexley, who is a rebellion pilot. Her son Temmin Wexley, who is in the movie as Snap Wexley, he's played by Greg Grunberg. An ex-Imperial officer named Sinjir Rathvelis, and a bounty hunter named Jas Amari. And so they kind of end up all involved with each other, and they find out about this meeting and take steps to stop the thing that is happening. Meanwhile, they're all just trying to follow their own ends. Jas has been hired to kill someone at the meeting. Sinjir just wants to get away from the Empire and escape the consequences of his defection. Nora wants to get her son and take him to a planet that isn't under Imperial rule because Akiva isn't safe, and she wants to take him somewhere that is. But Temmin has made his whole life on Akiva, and he's still angry at Nora for abandoning him after his father was arrested. She went off to find him and just kind of left him on the planet with his aunt. So he resists all her attempts to get him off planet, and is very rightfully angry at her for leaving him. While all this is going on, we see the New Republic coming into its power for the first time. And some things that are happening because of that. There is one little chapter with Han Solo and Chewbacca, and it just is very, very complex and involved, but it's not hard to keep track of. I read it over quite a long period of time. I bought this in about September or October and started reading it straight away, but didn't actually finish it until February. So I did kind of lose track of a lot of the information, but as you read on, you kind of remember what goes on, and you can pick up on the whole scope of things even if you forget certain details. I really, really liked this. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I think this is part of what sparked my intense love for Star Wars, which is just a thing that's happened this year. Probably the reason for that is that this is the first time I have actually seen myself in Star Wars. When Nora leaves Akiva, she leaves Temmin under the care of her sister and her sister's wife. So, they're married, they have lesbians, and they raise him. And Sinjir also is gay, which doesn't get revealed until the very end of the book, but that's okay. And there are also a few other places where characters would just casually mention that they have gay parents. It was just casually mentioned without without needing to make a big deal of it, and it was just so nice for that to happen. And with all the speculation about Poe Dameron and Poe and Finn, and I just really feel like finally Star Wars is for me, and that's just a really nice feeling. Okay, the next book that I read is Weapon of a Jedi, a Luke Skywalker adventure by Jason Fry. Luke is not my favourite character from the original trilogy. I mean, he's an okay character, he's just not my favourite. So I originally wasn't even going to pick this one up. I was going to only grab the other 2 in the series, which are about Han and Leia. But these books are written in the form of flashbacks, and so they have a prologue and an epilogue set in around the time of The Force Awakens, and then the story itself is a flashback. And the prologue and the epilogue of this novel happen to feature Jessica Parker, who is not in the movie for very long, but she's in a lot of the fan fiction, and I just really love her as a character, and I hope that she's in more things because she's really cool, and she's pretty much the only reason that I picked this up. This is just Luke kind of finding out more about Force and being a Jedi. It's set between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. It was okay. I gave it 3 stars for the story itself and an extra star because it had just Pablo in it. It was okay. And then the next book I read is another one in that series is Moving Target, A Princess Leia Adventure by Jason Fry and Cecil Castelucci. This one is set between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and it follows Leia and a few members of the rebellion who kind of are part of this secret mission against the Empire, and that part of the mission involves like going on a certain path through the galaxy and leaving these beacons ostensibly to attract more people to the rebellion, but in actual fact they're setting a trap, and anyone that shows up to that trap will then be kind of attacked by the Empire. It's an attempt to divert the Empire from where the real rebellion base is. And Leia is just not comfortable with the plan, with kind of essentially leading these people to their deaths, and they don't even know that it's their deaths, and they just want to sign up and help. So they do end up getting around that problem, and that was really good. There was also a mention of Poe Dameron in the end of this, so that was a plus. That was my favourite. Yeah, and I think I gave this one 4 stars, or maybe I gave it 5. I don't know, one of them, but it was really good, and I really liked this one. The next book I read was a 5-star read, and that is the Force Awakens Visual Dictionary. I love books like this. Like, I guess it's for kids, but I don't even care. It introduces all of the new characters and the new organizations and the new places that we see in the film, and kind of gives us an update on our old favorites like Han Solo. There's a lot in here about the Resistance pilots and the different kinds of stormtroopers. Yeah, and it was just really, really informative. It was just nice to get a little more information about the things that you ordinarily wouldn't know about. And I really love that kind of thing. And also, there is 2 whole pages on Poe. Like, this was my main reason for buying it. I'm not even gonna lie. And you might have seen on the internet this picture here of Poe. It's not gonna focus probably, but right here it says tousled hair from wearing helmet. I mean, you got to mention the hair. It's the rules, but that is the least tousled helmet hair I have ever seen in my life. It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, but really, really enjoyable. Definitely recommend this. Okay, the next book I read is Star Wars Empire Volume 4, Heart of the Rebellion. I haven't read any of the other volumes of Empire, and I'm not going to. I only care about this one because it's about Princess Leia. I read the newer Princess Leia comic and absolutely loved it. I gave it 5 stars. I'm pretty sure I gave this one 4 or 5 stars as well. They are quite similar. If you enjoyed that one, then you would enjoy this one. What I'm going to do here is just insert what I said about this when I recorded it. I cut it out of my previous video, so just enjoy the past Lucy.
If you've read the other Princess Leia comic, then you will know what to expect from this one. It's basically the same. It's Leia going off and being a warrior for truth and justice in the galaxy, and I'm just so down for that. Also very similar to the other one in that Leia hates the idea of people dying for her or for the cause because of her. So it was just it's basically like a spiritual prequel to the other one, or I should say that the other one is a spiritual sequel to this because they are very similar. It's just at different times. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed it, and like I said, I gave it either 4 or 5 stars.
Okay, so those are all the books that I'm going to talk about in this wrap up, and I will see you in my next one. Bye everyone.